guys, what's up? It's Kristen Alexis, your curly career girl, and welcome back to my channel. Today is my next Money Mondays video where I'm going to be talking about MBA programs, and is an MBA worth it for you? I basically pulled some research and read a bunch of articles to get familiar with the data on this topic, and I want to share it with you guys because I know it is a topic of interest that a lot of people talk about online and just everywhere. I see it all the time where people are just getting into this conversation as to if it's worth going to school to get your MBA or going to school at all for that matter versus being an entrepreneur. So I want to share with you what the facts say so that you can make an educated decision for yourself. So let's go ahead and get into it and talk about the data. So in my perspective, I'm going to share that with you first, and then we're going to talk about some of the articles that I read. For me, I believe that an MBA is definitely worth the investment. And the reason for that is because in this day and age, an MBA is typically required for high-level roles in corporate America. Now, if you're not someone who's interested in corporate America and you're not trying to progress there, then hey, this is not for you. But everybody cannot be an entrepreneur. Everyone is not going to be successful going that path, and a lot of people will fail. So for the ones who are, by the book and want to go the career route where they're chasing, the degrees like me, then I would say an MBA is definitely worth it for you. It's going to help you be able to check that box so that you can definitely go for those senior level roles within corporate America. It's just funny because it really goes back to my own perspective, but then I saw it reiterated in the data, and it just goes back to the return on investment for the MBA program. In my mind, just knowing professionally and personally, it has definitely paid off financially for me. So while it was an investment that I had to put in, the money has paid itself back over and above, even in just a couple years post V-School. So for me, I think that it's definitely worth the investment, even though it does take money to pursue your MBA. I also think that it's really important to do an MBA if you're in corporate America and you're really trying to go to that next level, because when I first got to B-School, the one thing I thought was super interesting is as soon as you get there and you go to these career fairs, and it's amazing because literally you start school and 2 weeks later you're at these huge career fairs with thousands of companies, big name companies that you would probably have a difficult time getting into at a high level without this degree. And it's amazing because you can go to these career fairs and literally get an interview right away. Like in the past, these companies would never have considered me with my current experience. But I went to these career fairs, and it's just so amazing how being in B-School for 2 weeks and they're willing to talk to you about an opportunity within their organization. So that piece of paper just opens a door to so many levels, or on so many levels, that you would not have even imagined before going to get that degree. So that's another reason why I think it's definitely worth it, especially if you're trying to get into companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Nike, American Express, a lot of these big name Fortune 500 companies that are really looking for good people. Another thing I want to throw out there that I think is really important to consider is MBAs are not created equal. In my mind, there are definitely levels to this thing. And I just think that that's something to take into consideration. When you're doing your research, you want to understand the type of companies that people are getting placed into from the college that you're looking at. You want to understand the type of income or the average income this college is being able to get their students when they graduate. And you're also going to want to compare what the cost is in comparison to that income that you'll be able to get. Because if it's a super high amount but the income they're getting is low, you may want to find something else that kind of hits that sweet spot a little bit better. So for everyone, there's a trade-off. I decided to go to Michigan State University, which at the time I believe was ranked like 21, 22. And for me, I felt like the cost of the school versus the return on the investment was right perfect for what I wanted to be. Now, other people go for higher ranked schools that may cost more, and they get that name on their resume, and it may give them a little bit more longevity in their career. But you kind of have to find that sweet spot for yourself, and also think about your background and your years leading up to business school, as well as your GMAT and all that good stuff, so that you can get into that top ranked program that you want to be in. But I definitely think, if it was me, I'm going to be looking at a higher ranked program versus some of these online programs if I really want to get the return on investment. But either way, make sure you do your research so that you know what this business school is giving to their students when they graduate. That is so important. Don't be one of those people who is at the end of the program trying to find a job or post the program and you realize you're not making any more money and now you just put this money down on this program and it hasn't had a return for you. So definitely do your research first so that you're making sure you're making the best decision for your life. But let's go ahead and get into some of the research that I found that I think you will find very interesting. Based on an article published in Fortune magazine, and I will post the links to all of this below, this article basically shared a survey that was done looking at 14,000 postgraduate students. Of these 14,000 alumni from 275 schools, these students reported that over 2 decades, they made $1 million more than they would have had they not gone to get their MBA. So this is one example of how an MBA can be very beneficial and have that payback for you if you choose to go that route. According to the GMAX calculation, it found that students who go to get their MBA full-time recoup their investment within 3.5 years, and students who go part-time are able to recoup their investment within 2.5 years. So it just shows that by going, you're able to also get the investment back, even if it is $100,000 back within a short amount of time. So that is super important because you don't want to spend that money not knowing if you can get it back, especially even if it's a less expensive program, but if it's not placing people, then it may not have the return on investment that you really want to get. And it may be worth it to bust your butt even harder and to go full time and go to a really, really good ranked school. In another survey, they found that 89% of MBA graduates found their degree to be professionally rewarding, and 9 out of 10 said that they would do it again. I definitely can agree with that. I know for myself, my MBA program was one of the best experiences of my life. Probably the best 2 years I've ever had. I've had so many great experiences within that 2 years, and I also met so many people that I would not trade for anything. So I definitely agree with that, and I just think that, you know, if you choose to go that route, you're not gonna regret it. I can't see how you would regret it. It's just so amazing. It was so amazing for me. So in another article within this Fortune they referenced, they said in the 2 years after graduation, both men and women reported making $20,000 more than they made before getting their MBA. However, they did find that over time, the gap is there between women and men, which exists for people who don't have their MBA. So as a woman, you definitely want to be making sure that you're asking for the money that you believe that you deserve. Do not let yourself end up in the gap, and make sure that that gap is not as big as it could be. And I think that I would definitely want to do another video where I talk about that, because when I graduated school, I looked at a lot of research and a lot of information around how women don't ask for the money that we deserve. And if you miss out on $5,000 throughout your career, that turns into a huge gap, because as you get raises and promotions and things of that nature, all that $5,000 gap does is get bigger. So I think I definitely want to talk about that, because that's a really important topic, especially if you're a woman and you're going back to school, or honestly, even if you're not going back to school, to consider. But with that, hey, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you like this video so that I know if you guys enjoy these Money Mondays videos. I find them to be really interesting, and especially preparing for them, the research that I've been doing and the articles I've been reading have been really, really intriguing. But I want to know that you guys like them too. So comment below. Also comment below if there's certain topics you want me to talk about. I will be sure to incorporate that, as these are a lot of fun for me. Hit the like button, comment below, send me the message so that I know you guys like it, because I want to make sure that I am giving you what you want. But with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.